following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Nico Haan. This is Paige Clarke, and welcome. It's a happy Friday, folks. Beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater, Florida.
Spring has sprung. The pollen's everywhere, but it sure is nice to see everyone going out to the beach and having fun.
72 degrees and sunny, folks. This is the place to be, for sure.
We hope you're enjoying your weather wherever you are.
Yeah. The number here is 877-927-6648. You'd like to give us a call, and I also have a brand new newsletter that is coming out this morning, so please
Yeah, some good
check
stuff in there we can cover today.
Yeah, we'll cover a couple of those things. I'm just back from the Pan Ams in California, and I picked up a couple of little items here. 2 second place
to
finishes.
add to your large collection.
Not as large as most people's, but
you know what? Hey, well, let's think about it, though. At what age did you start doing this?
Yeah, at age 63. So
that's pretty amazing, guys.
Had a lot of fun, met a lot of really, really awesome people out there, and I got a couple of pictures.
Yeah, can they see that? I hope so.
Yeah, this is
Eduardo
up, and Eduardo, this is my professor. He got a silver medal also in his division, which was a Master 3 and middle belt, and he fought some great fights. It was just incredible.
You guys are two tough-looking guys. I wouldn't want to mess with you.
Then this is me just before I got in
ring.
my final match at the black belt middle weight in my division, which was Master 6. And
I know you trained really hard for that. That's a great picture.
Yeah, this is Diego, who I fought, and myself. He got the gold, I got the silver. Then we both went in the absolute. There were 4 of us in the absolute, and we 3 of us all placed. I got second place. This guy, who was about 25 pounds heavier than us, James Doran.
How old is
Fabulous. He was 56. Diego was 60. I'm 69. And we all fought really well. This James was awesome. He had been competing for 20 years as a black belt, so he really knows what he's doing, and it really showed.
I'm sure all of you know what you're doing.
It was great. It was a lot of fun,
see you there.
And the one thing about going to competitions like that, it really helps you establish what you should be doing next in your game. And when I went back Wednesday, I just started applying that. I could really see the difference it made in me. So I always really encourage everybody to do challenges like that, because it does push you to a different level. It changes your thinking, and besides, you meet a lot of awesome people. There were 4,000 competitors.
Wow, 4,000?
Yeah, 4,000.
How do they have time to do all that?
Well, they do it over 5 days. So Sunday is when the black belts fight, so that's when they kind of set the stage. And my final battle was in the center stage with Diego. So it was.
Wow. Do you have video of it too?
My professor has, and he's going to bring it back next week.
Nice.
And, I haven't looked at it.
Well, we're proud of you, Nico.
Oh, thanks.
Very proud
of you. It was a blast.
So back to our sharing and caring.
Yeah, one of the things that a lot of people do at these competitions, too, they talk about what food they're eating and what kind of regime it was. A lot of people are juicing, things like that, and I think juicing really does have its place, especially vegetable juicing, because you can, as we've talked about on the show a lot of times, is that the real nutritious parts of plants are the real tops, the herbs, I would say, and maybe some of the roots. And those things make such a difference that you don't need a lot of it. And I know I listened to a podcast this weekend during the week. And it seems like the weekend, coming back from this competition. And they were talking about these people who were juicing. I said, well, I want to listen to this, because a lot of people's conception of juicing is, well, I juice all day, and that's all I do. You got everything you need. And for me, that's not really the way it works.
No, it's about moderation. It's about balance, really. Yeah. Maybe that's not the word I want to use, moderation.
Well, the thing is, we go back to, like, if the herbs and the tops of plants have so much more nutrition, 40 or 50 times, why would you eat the rest of it? And why do you need a lot? You don't, because, you know, when we do our supplements and all these little things are coming from those plants.
Right.
So, and they're little capsules. So now if we think that little capsule is going to do a lot, imagine eating it, how much it would do. So the more natural you get, and if you can grow these things, and actually I think herbs are easier to grow than just about anything.
Or sprouts, like microgreens and so
sprouts,
forth.
Exactly.
You know, what makes a nut, a seed, a sprout, you know,
Water
a
and
small
sunshine,
plant,
right?
well, yes, but what makes it so powerful is knowing that it has the chemical enzyme strength to become a tree, or whatever it is it's going to become.
That's a good way of putting it.
So when you think of that force, that life force, you know, that's what you're getting when you get these things. However, with so many fruits, vegetables, there is also can be, not so much in the greens, but could be too much sugar, and that's what I see with people that are a little too...
You're talking about in the stocks?
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
in the whole fruits, or people who say, oh, I'm juicing, you know, in certain health challenge situations, what do we need? We need those enzymes from those life source nutritional products to help us, because our pancreas is not producing the systemic enzymes to do the cleansing and break down the protein shell. Remember I always talk about the biofilm busters? So that's why I think in with people that have health challenges like cancer and so forth, you know, lifestyle juicing of a heavy amount, eliminating meats for a season. For a period of healing.
For a period of time, sure. For
a period of healing. But day to day, if you eliminate your animal food proteins, I mean, just as we know that juicing has been helpful in those life-threatening situations like cancer, we know that Joanna Budwork had a 95% cure rate with, I think, close to 100, like 30,000 people with a cottage cheese and flaxseed, a dairy product, an animal protein. So I think it's best not for us to judge and to find out what works best for us. Did you have a lot of fighters that were actually using juicing as their energy?
A lot of fighters, you know, a couple of people came up, we were standing in line for some food, and one of the guys was talking about things, and he kind of asked me, he says, what do you do before a competition? I said, well, what I did is I bought some wild salmon, I bought some sardines, and I bought a couple of sticks of grass-fed butter.
And don't you usually take pemmican with you sometimes?
Sometimes I do. I didn't this time.
Right.
But I was just doing a backpack, so I just went to Trader Joe's and bought all the stuff there.
Right.
But I'll tell you, I was jonesing on the butter.
Right.
And I felt better and better as the competition came on. That morning I had just a little, maybe about 3 ounces of salmon, and I had probably half a stick of butter. Half of one of those Kerrygold packs.
Right.
And I'd take a little bit of it, slug down some water, get ready, take another bite, and by the time I got to the competition, it was just like I had so much energy, and the fights really didn't take a lot out of me, whereas the years before, it seemed like I was really wiped out after the first fight. And then
So you attribute that to the...
Oh, the food is definitely
the
a huge
energy
difference.
of this,
Well, there was another thing too at Black Belt, and Diego we were talking before the fight in the bullpen, and he says, you know, here we are, we see these young guys, and they're tearing their hearts out on the mat. He says, you and I won't be doing that. He says, we'll be nice and calm, and because, first of all, we shook hands and we're smiling at each other.
Right.
We've done it for a while, and we're at a different stage of life where it doesn't mean as much. What it means is that we're there. That's the whole blessing of it all. Exactly. And the fighting is just kind of a bonus, and you get to learn a little bit about yourself, and you meet some great people. But he was exactly right, and I was much more calm at this one, and the guy wasn't trying to kill you, but he was killing you with moves. But not killing it with the strength. And exactly.
Yeah,
so that was really cool.
And that's kind of what life's about. As we get older, we just become wiser, maybe. So it's a show of wisdom.
I will mention one more thing. The greatest thing that happened to me at that competition had really nothing to do with the fighting, and it was cool. I was standing there in between fights having a little Italian ice made with these Brazilian berries, acai.
Yeah.
And so I was there just standing up at this little round table. There was a lady there. I said, do you mind if we go in there? She said, no. So my buddy and I, Jason, were standing there, and these two little girls come up to me. And one was about maybe 5 or 6, and the other one 9 or 12, something like that. And we watched you fight. And we just think that you're just the most amazing guy, and we think you're really good, and we can't believe it. Can we have your picture? And
so you were a celebrity.
It was just amazing that here you have these young kids watching this competition, and then they recognize me.
They recognize some skill
I guess they must have been watching. Who knew?
So you were a celebrity there, and you're a celebrity here.
Well, I'll tell you, there was a lot of celebrities there. Not me. It was just a great thing. lot of high talent.
Well,
so it was a real pleasure.
You definitely made us proud.
One of the things, too, is that, and I put this in the newsletter, talking about making a mental kind of movie about what you're going to be doing in competition. And, you sent me this article about affirmations, which...
20 affirmations to boost your health.
Yeah, and really what was cool about this thing is the mistakes you make and how you formulate these things, because I was always really big on affirmations, but I'm also real careful how I word these things, because I think the important thing is that you aren't negative about things, and it's not what you will do, it's what you are.
You're exactly right. And your body's listening. So just remember, whenever you're having a thought, every single one of those trillions of cells you have is listening.
Yeah, and the body really doesn't know the difference between you talking and you hearing it from somebody else. That's why negative things really do hurt people. But the negative things that you say to yourself is much more damaging. If you say, I can't do this.
That's why it's so important to look in the mirror and say, I love you. Let's go through a couple of the common mistakes, that happen. Why affirmations don't work. One of the most common mistakes that people make is they repeat affirmations and they focus on what they want to get away from. For example, I want to lose weight. Right. Well, first of all, nobody wants to lose anything. Our mind knows that. I like to teach my people, perhaps you're ready to release some weight. See, releasing is a conscious thing, but losing... What are we taught to do mentally?
I look at it and I say, I'm a fat burner, man.
Right.
I'm a fat burner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm creating a fat engine,
Exactly.
The other most important thing to remember is that don't and not are meaningless to the brain. Have you ever told someone something like, I don't want to be sick anymore, only to have your illness linger? Because the brain focuses on the word I and the word sick. I sick. Doesn't hear the negatives.
It would be better to say something like, I am perfectly healthy.
I am extremely well from my head to my toe. Yeah, exactly. The positive affirmation. And I think sometimes that's why some people's prayer life has been compromised, because if you think of it, in prayer you're often told to...
Well, prayer is really an affirmation.
It is an affirmation.
After all, who are you talking to? You're talking to yourself. Yeah, if there's somebody else is listening, fine. But I maintain that we're really talking to ourselves. And if God is anywhere, he's on the inside, not on the outside. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Right. Another mistake that people make is putting their affirmation into the future tense.
Yes.
I will be free of cancer. I will be successful.
Yeah, but you're hit by a car tomorrow, and you're not going to be there. You're right.
A stronger one would be, I am perfectly healthy at the cellular level. Yeah. I am enjoying my success today and every day. Yeah. Turning it into the present.
And Ellen, my wife, often talked to me about this, is that be very, very specific. Because if you just put out to the universe, I want some excitement today, you might go out and get hit in the car.
Wrong kind of excitement,
the wrong kind of excitement. So be specific on what you're doing, be specific on what you want, but also make them, like you said, in the present tense. I am.
So today,
because you can switch in a second. That's the real cool part.
Yeah. So today we are creating joy, ease, and glory, and perfect health. So stay tuned.
All right.
When we come back, give us a call. We got questions for Paige and Nico, Living a Primal Lifestyle, and our phone number is
877-927-6648. Right on cue.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Hecht will be hosting his first paid workshop on TFNN, the Techno-Mental Trading Method, which is taking place Friday, March 28th from noon till 3:30 Eastern Time. Relying on his decades of experience as a professional commodities trader for some of the largest and most well-respected firms in the business, Andy will be teaching for 3 full hours discussing the application of the technomentals he uses when trading commodities, futures, inter and intra-commodity spreads, commodity-related stocks, ETFs and ETNs, and related options, and much more. You'll receive an added bonus of a quick reference guide that Andy has put together for everyone that attends that breaks down the U.S. traded commodity-based ETF and ETN products available to you as a trader. The Techno-Mental Trading Method, Friday, March 28th from noon till 3:30 Eastern Time. This workshop will be archived so that if you can't attend live, you can view it whenever you'd like on demand for 30 days. For all the details and to reserve your spot today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Clarke and Nico Haan, and it's a fabulous Friday, and we're living a primal lifestyle. We've been talking about creating affirmations to help you achieve the greatest success and health and joy and ease in your life. So let's talk a little bit about it, and let's kind of give you a Tiger take-home tool today. That's my little...
Yeah, well, one of the things I think is everybody should come up with one. Why not people in the den, maybe you're out there in radio land, why don't you formulate one and let us know what it is? If there was one thing that you want in life, what is that one thing, and how would you phrase it so that your brain can readily see that that's one of your goals and that it's going to be part of your spirit?
And remember, the brain is a switching point, but in actuality, it's your whole resonance of all the cells in your body. Mm-hmm. So picking words that truly have a healthy resonance, the word health, or joy, or love, the supreme one, have a beautiful resonance and make the cells, which are like little crystalline substances, vibrate, as opposed to death or ill. So try and leave the words that don't have a powerful resonance out of your affirmations. Okay. Instead of saying, I don't want to be ill, just say, I am. I am healthy, well. I am the embodiment of health and energy, and I am successful. Yeah.
Now, in my newsletter, I have an article that is to reach your goals,
that's a great tool.
A mental movie. And this talks about several people, but one particular person who did this, who was in the Olympics, and she won gold. But it really helps me, too. And, when I'm, before I go out for a fight, I kind of just let everything go. I says, everything that I've learned is in there. I just have to have my mental state in such a way that I'm tapping into it immediately. I'm not thinking about it because I want to do it instinctively. So I really, my affirmation is that I'm here, I have all the knowledge, and let me have access to it.
Yeah, a lot of people ask, how can they actually be successful when they don't really know how they're going to do it? Like you say, maybe you didn't have a visualization, but research shows that you really can, and you're a powerful creator with your imagination. So use it to create your success.
It's one step at a time towards that goal. My dad had he had a lot of sayings. One of them was, you can make all the money you need just by working half a day. And it doesn't matter which 12 hours that is.
Well, let's just even,
So that was kind of like, you have to work a half a day, but it's a 12-hour day.
Right.
It's a half a day.
That is a half a day.
And he says it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, as long as you're taking one step at a time. There might be 10,000 steps, but you're not going to get to that 10,000th one until you make that first one. And the first one is always ahead of you.
Yeah, so how can you, just thinking about like when you program your car's navigation system, somehow or another you put it in there, and the computer system and the software there helps your car know how to get to your destination. So your brain can also map out your course to your goals once you clearly communicate to yourself what the goal is.
Yeah, you can just kind of have it on your wrist here and say, okay, I'm tapping in right now, and just make that visual image. There it is, it's locked in, no problem. I don't have to do anything else. So
yeah, and that's where the power of a lot of these techniques of creating vision boards, go onto the computer, cut out pictures that are representative of the things that you want to happen, because we are powerful creators. We really are.
No doubt about it.
And so that's in the newsletter. I hope you guys are taking advantage of the newsletter.
Yeah, one of the things it says in here, to really define your goal, make it real, make it graphic, make a Google-like, and print out representatives of those images that you want to create for yourself. A lot of people put things on refrigerators as affirmations. A lot of people one of the reasons we like pictures so much is because when we've got a good picture of ourselves, we want to see that. And then we like to look at it, so do those things. It really does help.
I think it's a great idea, too.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, so we had a powerful newsletter, and I wanted to talk a little bit about sugar's harm on your body.
Yeah, this is the third installment, and it's quite lengthy, but I really, and the first two things in there, and last week was the same thing, the first about bread and then about sugar, and really when we're talking about grains, we're really talking about sugar. Right. In a sense. It acts very much the same. Not quite as powerful, but when you make it a staple, it's exactly the same thing.
And, so many people, I'm really passionate about trying to help people understand that really the sugar, and particularly in refined sources, what is actually creating the almost like scratching your fingers on a chalkboard inside our arteries, creating the oxidative stress, the irritation
inflammation.
that creates the inflammation. Yeah. And the cholesterol goes there, guys, to do the repairs. Yeah. And yet we have people all over the world that are terrified, and they want to lower their cholesterol with cholesterol-lowering drugs when it's actually making the repairs. Why would you want to put a restraint on the raw materials to repair something?
That's right. It's the wrong paradigm. And in fact, if I look, and I'll bring this up right after the break, I've got two articles that I ripped out of the newspaper.
Oh,
and
hot off the press stuff.
Hot off the press, so we'll go with that. So the number here is 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico here and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and I pulled these things out this week.
And just for those of you who might be joining us, we were just talking about that really sugar is at the root cause of oxidative stress, which creates inflammation, which was why cholesterol goes there to do the repair.
No
it's
doubt
the
about
innocent
it.
bystander.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is what really
this is in the New
burns
York
my gut.
Times. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and on the front page of the St. Pete Times. As many people have long been told that saturated fat, the type found in meat, butter, and cheese, causes heart disease, but a large and extensive new analysis by a team of international scientists found no evidence that eating saturated fats increased heart attacks and other
cardiac
events. Then the very next day... folks. From the Associated Press in the Times was almost half Americans age 40 to 75 and nearly all men over 60 qualify, I like the way they put it, qualify
like you're lucky to be in the club.
Consider cholesterol-lowering statin drugs under a new heart disease preventative guidelines, analysis concludes.
Yeah, the headline says, many more may need statins. So that is just, in my opinion, that is the pharmaceutical industry doing damage control to their quickly dwindling annuity as people are realizing there's only a very small percentage of the population that statin drugs, do any good for. We know that they're never good for women, and if anyone's over 60, 65, I think it is, that they decrease their longevity, increase their risk of mortality.
Yeah, we have a caller on the line I'd like to go to. This is Mike from Almond Beach, and he wants to talk about osteoporosis. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
No, it's osteoarthritis.
Oh, osteoarthritis, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Nico and Paige, I sent you guys an email, and I put a further explanation of what's going on with me.
Okay.
And, coincidentally, I know you're talking about sugar and how bad it is for you, and I've been paying attention to that, and I try to cut a lot of sugar out of anything I eat.
Okay.
And I really try to eat good. But anyway, I even sent you a link where you could see pictures of me. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm 54. I've, trained a lot. I've been involved like in auto racing and stuff, so I always used to keep in shape for that.
Okay.
And anyway, the last 2 years I started coming down with arthritis really bad in my hip.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess then from compensatory, damage or whatever, then it got really bad in my knees. My right knee is really bad. And the doctor said I got like a Baker's cyst on the back of my right knee.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I wrote in the email, I've been taking action. I've been, taking turmeric tea, apple cider vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
I cut out as much sugar as I can.
You have to cut it out completely,
I know
really.
that leads to inflammatory situations.
Yeah, and so does grains. The grains are almost like eating sugar, so they're highly inflammatory. So usually what happens if you cut out grains completely in beans, because they have high phytic acid and really gets into those joints, you'll find that the pain goes away. You'll still have the arthritis and the stiffness, but you won't be hurting as much.
So let me add to that too, Mike. We're just seeing your email. As you've probably heard on the show, what we also know is that most of us, due to the toxins in the food and our inability to not just only digest our food once we're over 40, due to damaged gut lining from all these foods we've been eating for years, but also our inability to disinfect the food. I suspect in most cases of arthritis, an itis is another ending of a word that means infection, a stealth infection. So when people work with me, I encourage them to use fermented tonic brews that I help create for them for a period of, usually about 4 months, to kind of go after what I believe is most likely a nanobacteria that has created biofilms, is escaping your immune system. It goes to your joints and just creates a little havoc. So contrary to what most people want to believe, we have more bugs in us than we have human cells. Mm-hmm. Most of those bugs are on our team, but some aren't. And so that's what I suspect. And doing something like that, and then enhancing your digestive fire, I see it over and over again where people have heartburn and their doctor gives them that purple pill. Absolutely the worst thing you can ever do. Okay? Because you are eliminating your body's ability to disinfect itself from the nanobacteria that we get in our food, creating immune system stress. So have you been taking any type of thing like that, for digestive disturbance at all?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Well,
but
how about the grains? Are you still eating the grains?
That is one thing I need to work on. In fact, what do you recommend, like, for a good breakfast if you want to stay wheat, grain-free?
What I eat is a couple eggs in the morning, of course, pasture-raised, and usually some bacon or some sausage or a little meat left over from the night before. Sometimes I throw a couple of vegetables in it, but I don't eat a lot of vegetables. I eat mostly herbs and sprouts and stuff like that.
And I eat a little bit more. Sometimes I make a super smoothie in the morning, and I'll add collagen, like glycine, because it gives me 6 grams of protein. So I don't like a lot of processed proteins.
Yeah. And I wouldn't use fruit in the morning and maybe in the afternoon. If fruit is also full of sugar and full of fructose. So it's kind of a double whammy. So I would stay away from fruits completely unless you're doing it, that's something that's grown in the area, that's native to the area, and is around only for a couple of weeks, and that'll help to cleanse things out. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing the same fruit day in and day out, you're not really getting the benefit. All you're getting is sugar.
Well, I like sometimes for people, because I have to take it sometimes one step at a time.
Yeah.
Sometimes, lemons and limes are usually okay, and blueberries or acai berries, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
They're actually help, and they're low in sugar. But the best breakfast is like Nico says, have some eggs.
Yeah. In fact, all your meals
fats.
should be based around a little bit of protein. Make sure you include the real good fats along with them.
Healthy fats.
And then
some colorful carbs.
If you want to put some carbs in, and that's great. But the first thing that you have to really work on is your basic diet, and then going into the cleanses and everything like that will go a lot smoother. But if you're starting to look for these tonics that are going to help you, it's not going to help you as much as if you straighten out your diet for a few months first and then start using those things, and they'll have a great effect on you. And sometimes when you're trying to detox, if you're not in really good shape to do the detox, you're going to go through hell. So why not spare yourself and clean up your daily act first, and then do some of the other stuff.
And get on the right power foods. And, if you're not on the newsletter, I really suggest you go subscribe and get this copy, Mike, because, like you mentioned, there's a great research that points to sugar and children's behavior, sugar and digestion, sugar and cancer, sugar and cardiovascular disease, sugar and
sugars, if you're consuming any kind of food that has been processed, you've got either sugar or grains in it. So you really have to make the break and say, okay, I'm only going to eat fresh food.
And I'm working on a document. We did it. It's called Eliminate 8 for 28 and Feel Great. And we're kind of really trying to help people that want to make this change.
Yeah, I'll send that to you, as a matter of fact, Mike.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yeah, and a lot of times I get to listen to your show live, and a lot of times I listen to the archives, but there's so much great information on there. And, I've had, trainers and stuff throughout the year, and a lot of what you teach is what I've learned from, other professional trainers, and it's great information.
So. Thank you so much. Really appreciate
and Nico,
it.
With the competitions you do at your age and everything, I envy you, so I hope that I can get my flexibility back and be in good shape as you.
Well, thank you. And,
he is an inspiration, isn't he?
All it takes really is starting to do something that you enjoy, because if you have a passion for it, you'll keep repeating it, even if it's irritating you in the beginning, and you know that at the end you're going to, it's not the ending, it's the journey.
Right, and once I try to take the time to stretch as often as I can, and I work a full-time job, and then like what I was getting at before, the breakfast, a lot of times I wake up and I'm flying out the door to get to work on time, and I grab I'll grab granola bars, or I'll have cereal real quick. And
and it's always a quick fix, but it's really doing you much more damage than you think.
Like we said, the way that they fatten up a pig is they give them cereal and skim milk, and that's kind of what our American breakfast has been. But seriously, if you would like to talk further about this, I could help you. So Paige at TFNN.com with a tonic and some other ideas. Be glad to work with you.
Okay, well, thanks again, and I'm going to pay attention and get my diet changed for my breakfast.
Awesome.
Right. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye. Thanks for calling, Mike.
Great call.
Great guy.
Yeah, a lot of people have problems. I still have clients, but as I keep talking to them, then a couple of months down the line, they say, well, I've stopped this, and I've stopped that, and I do feel better. And Tom O'Brien was in this morning, and Randy was there, a relatively new client. He's been with me maybe for 3-4 months, something like that. And Tom says, oh, Randy, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. He says, well, I'm getting there. I've lost about 20 pounds, So it's a nice, slow process, which is really what I want, because when you take it easy, you're going to keep it off. It means that you've changed the habit of eating the stuff that we all want to eat.
And what we're really sharing with people is it's really up to you. And when you mentioned that about your client, I have a client, and I think you met him at the Dunedin Library, and he's coming in weekly, and we're holding each other in partnership, and he is just on fire. He's lost good 20-something pounds, and he tells me the inches in his waist, and feeling a difference in the energy. And he doesn't mess around. He comes in and says, I just went ahead and I bought a half a cow with my sister. Bought a freezer this weekend, so he's making sure that he makes the right choices and getting truly grass-fed, consciously raised animal meat.
You need to change your pantry. You need to change your refrigerator. You just have to take those bad foods out and just not get used to having them anymore. But,
everyone's talking about doing a cleanse of their bodies. We say, our little guest, Lucia, that was on, she has her kitchen cleanse. I like that. That's really important. Cleanse your body, but clean your kitchen out so you don't. She's a little doll.
Yeah, she's really great. We're going to have her on again for sure.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I like the whole idea of it, where she can go in and really take over the kitchen and do the cooking and the cleaning and everything like that. She charges one fee, and you've got a house full of food for the week.
She actually came to my office and we talked a little bit about how she can help people remotely, because that's really the key. If you can get in and have the idea, that's half the battle.
Yeah, and in fact, I've got her spotlighted in the newsletter here someplace.
Right at the end, there she is, our little Italian gone paleo.
Yeah. And it was a great guest. She had a lot of good information, and she's right here in the area, which is a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. And I got some nice recipes in here, some crock pot Mexican stew, and there's a whole article in here after these recipes.
So powerful. I'm so glad you put that in there.
The one about the crock pot?
Slow cooker brands and lead contamination. Yeah. We have an epidemic of lead contamination, guys. And another place I want you to go as you're looking at all this is Mike Adams now has a forensic science lab. Mike Adams of naturalnews.com. It's his real focus right now. And he's letting you know what products, like he's the one that exposed the whole situation with all the rice having high levels of cadmium and arsenic, the brown rice proteins like Sun Warrior and everything, and it's helped them to make a change. Yeah. But, this is what living a primal life is, getting down to the most important things. And, you can go spend your money, but if you're cooking it in something that's contaminating your food, we got to get back down to the basics.
So in that article, there's a lot of things in there about, where to get a good crock pot, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Now, a lot of people complain about exercise. I don't have time. So I put in here 2 exercises that you can do just about every day. Every other day is good enough. It's a wall sit.
Sitting there while you're watching your trays.
And the second one is basically a tuck jump. They're real easy to do. There's some video links in there. It shows you how to do them. You just do those 2 things for 10 minutes, and you've got yourself a lifestyle change. I guarantee it.
That tuck jump reminds me of that one longevity test that you do where you get down on the floor and you see what macerations you have to go through to get yourself up. Do you need to use one arm? Do you need to use both arms? Or can you literally spontaneously jump? Right. And that gives you an idea of...
Well, and you can actually see the progress in both of these very easily because they're difficult to do correctly. And the video shows you exactly how to do it. So kind of cool. And of course, I included some pictures in here of the pan. And at the end, just
all of our stuff.
And a few Indian pictures because I love the American Indian so much.
I do too, because they really were. Look at that. That's the primal people, and
well, they're the last indigenous people on a large scale that were here just a few hundred years ago, and some of them are still living. Unfortunately, to be a Native American, you have to stay on the reservation. Otherwise, you have to become an American. Many people don't know that, but. It's kind of still a tragedy in here. You wonder, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Adam Curry was talking about the wording change in the Jewish community over in Israel, where they're talking about now, we're not talking about Israel so much as a state, but we're talking about it as a Jewish state, and that the Jewish people have always been here. And he's kind of setting a precedent. And I noticed the president saying that the other day. And I thought to myself, too, they're doing that there, but what if the American Indian came here? Well, this is the original Indian state. We were here first, so why isn't this our country if the Jewish people were over there, And then, of course, they've been there 3,600 years. What if you go back 3,601 years? Who was there before that? And is it theirs, And all this flap about countries, and, of course, the Ukraine is in the news now, and these people... Half of them were part of Russia and half of them weren't, and where do you go? But why do we need these things?
Well, you look at those pictures, and it's so important that we protect these indigenous peoples' traditions, medicines. That's a big part of my sacred medical order.
Yeah.
We're protecting indigenous traditions.
I think we just need to understand that there always have been people here, and we can't really change the way our society is, but we have to get along.
Exactly.
That's the basic thing. Okay, folks, we'll be right back, and we'll get a little more serious on some of the health sides here. So. 877-927-6648.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Up next, the Diagnostics Trading Hour with Daryl Martin here on TFNN.
Welcome back, and we're living a primal lifestyle. And we had a great caller just a moment ago. We had Mike talking to us, and he was talking about inflammation, arthritis, and he's making a lot of really good choices. He mentioned that he's integrated turmeric into his diet, and I came across a recipe from one of my colleagues, Dr. Axe. I love Dr. Axe. He's very creative, and he's very like-minded to what we do. So there you guys see that little delicious-looking beverage there? That is turmeric tea, liquid gold. And this is a great, but let me tell you about this, and let me tell you why this caught my eye. Because we got all these people reading the research about turmeric, and they're buying supplements of turmeric. But what most people don't know, that turmeric is lipotrophic. It likes fat. It likes to be taken with fat. Think about Indian stews and everything that you think of India. They used a lot of coconut milk, and the turmeric was in there. It's kind of this creamy. So I really want you to know that if you're taking turmeric capsules or you're taking turmeric, it needs to either be in a fermented form, which is one I use in some of my terrific tonics with my clients, or even better, along with a fat source. So here you go, guys. This is 1 cup of coconut milk. We could scroll up a little bit. Maybe they might want to jot this down. 1 cup of coconut milk, a cup of water. See, the 1 tablespoon of organic butter and 1 tablespoon of raw honey. Can you imagine doing this before you go to bed, the way you like to do your little raw honey? And a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Always has to be organic and not irradiated, guys, if you're buying it. Or better yet, grate the root yourself. Or use one of our, we can get you access to a fermented turmeric that's already, pre-digested. So you put it in the saucepan, and warm it for 2 minutes. Then you add the butter and the raw honey and the turmeric powder for another 2 minutes. Stir, pour it into glasses, and have yourself a nice little warm turmeric toddy.
Just like that. Now, the great thing about turmeric, it's anti-inflammatory. It's a cancer killer. It's an antidepressant. It's a digestive aid. It reduces joint pain, liver detoxification, has antioxidants in it. It's wound healing. It balances your blood sugar, and it's antibacterial.
And you know what? For those of you all that subscribe to the newsletter, I think we've got a really nice little top 10 medications that could be eliminated if people will just integrate turmeric. So maybe you'll throw that in the newsletter next week. We won't go into it today, in detail.
Yeah, basically, all
for
the
those
things
that subscribe, they'll get it.
That you're taking is like the Advils and the, I try to use as much alternative as I can. I don't like using the anti-inflammatory steroid type of painkillers like Advil. I've used them, but they don't make me feel good after maybe the first or second time. So I really refrain from using them. But there's other ways you can do it. There's lots of herbs that help you. Turmeric is one of the great ones because you can put it in just about anything.
Turmeric, ginger, fire water. If you've got pain and you take ginger and you heat it up and you drink the pain,
and there's no side effects with these.
Right. And of course, remember, my passion is not just with eating these healing foods, it's with using these as essential oils. So many times when people come into my office and they're having, pain in the shoulder, I'll make them an aromatherapy, personalize it based on frequency things that I pick up with them, and I will make them a body balm. Yeah. And just the healing act of applying this, I might put a little ginger. Yeah. If it's belly inflammation, I'll put cardamom and lavender.
Well, one of the things, too, is that we have to remember that there's no side effects with any of these things, and also it's linked directly between the body and the brain. In other words, it's very brain-friendly. When you're taking over-the-counter medications from your local drugstore, you always have that brain effect that kind of stupefies you a little bit. That's the way it affects me. If you're taking something to stop your nose from running, it just clogs up your whole brain and you get a little foggy. Same with aspirins and same with Advil and all these other things. Whereas the natural things don't do that.
Right. And all drugs stop enzyme reactions. And it's just like you and I were talking. If you're driving down the road and the light says engine overheating, light comes on, and you just decide to unplug it, that didn't fix your engine. It just turned off the light. Yep. So we like to fix things at the root cause.
That's right, at the primal cause.
That's right.
Okay, folks, that's the show. Thanks a lot for sticking around. We'll be back next week. And pick up my newsletter, please. $10 a month. Get it twice a month. And you're good to go. See you later.
See ya. Be healthy.
Yep.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.